Hi everyone, welcome back to the weekly Armchair Kickoff podcast. You were tuned into another episode of Three Devils and the Gooners. Today I'm joined by Jen, Soph, and we also have Greg on with us today because we don't have Rach on. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Big boots to fill if Rachel's not here now. I don't often get a chance to talk about a team in the bottom half of the table, so different.
What team's bottom half? Sorry?
Are you not bottom half now?
No, we're not.
Wow! I didn't know it was a celebration. You should have said. That would have been on ninth. Wow.
Ninth, like it's still top half.
Scary.
I got a bit.
Busy
To be
house.
fair, I did get a bit of a giggle on Sky Sports last night when they're like, Arsenal are gone to the top half of the table.
Said it very audibly and then took 2 or 3 seconds to just
Yeah.
That's the point
Yeah.
I'm making.
Yeah. Bits and Bobs will be joining us soon. He's just running a bit late. So what we'll do is we'll start off and we will speak about Arsenal's win yesterday against Newcastle. I wasn't paying much attention to the game, to be honest, because of the scenes that were going on at Old Trafford yesterday. So but I do know that Arsenal did start off on the front foot and Newcastle couldn't really get into the game. We'll start with you, Jen. What did you make of Arsenal's win yesterday?
I was delighted actually because a win is a win. Absolutely over the moon for El Nene, scoring his first league goal for us, and he's fasting on Ramadan, so fair play to him. Any player that can do that, fast all day and still go out and play, fair dues to him, because I know I wouldn't be able to do it. Aubameyang, brilliant assist by Martinelli, and it was a class goal by Aubameyang. It was a typical Aubameyang goal. So hopefully he's got a bit of confidence from that he's actually scored one of his normal goals that he would have been scoring all last season for us. Just really happy that we showed a bit of cohesion, and even though the team was just, to us, it looked a bit thrown together, they all worked well. Upset that David Luiz got injured, because I know as an Arsenal supporter we slag him, but actually he makes our defence better, and I think we're going to miss him for Thursday, but that's another topic. So yeah, just absolutely delighted to be able to come on and say, yeah, we won, yay.
Yeah, especially after your game against Villarreal as well on Thursday. What did you make of that game? Jen, obviously you were quite confident going into the game. You thought you'd get the win, but it didn't turn out that way. How do you feel about it?
Well, if you go into a match without a striker, it's very difficult to win. No matter how good your midfielders are, it's just, it didn't make sense. It just did not make sense to me. And I know I love Pepe, right? I'm not going to say anything bad about him. Delighted he scored the penalty. Absolutely love him. But if you're not going in with a striker, I don't know, how do you expect to actually win a game? So 2-1. Yeah, the away goal was a bonus. So, I can't really say much more than that. I really can't.
Yeah, I mean, we did expect Villarreal to be quite tough anyway. I think you kind of knew as well yourselves, but you were quite confident going into it. So what did you make of your win yesterday against Newcastle?
I'm really happy we won. I'm happy for El Nene. I feel like it's a game you should win. I don't think we should get carried away. It's Newcastle. But I think because they've been so good, they've been collecting points from big teams, I think it's a bonus for us. I'm happy that Aubameyang got a goal. I think Martinelli has to start on Thursday as well. I think that shows you how important he is. But yeah, I'm happy we got a clean sheet. I thought Matt Ryan's was really good as well. But I just think it's Newcastle. It's a good confidence boost, but we're so inconsistent. So I'm not getting carried away about the game, because Arsenal this season we've just been so inconsistent.
Yeah, I feel like obviously we were talking about this last week. So your European run has been better than your Premier League run. You've actually been quite inconsistent in the Premier League. And what did you make of the game against Villarreal last Thursday?
I couldn't believe it though, because I was really confident going to the game. I thought, oh, we're going to beat them like 3-0, something like that. And then, do you know what? I was really shocked how we played. Like, we're in the semi-final of Europa League, and it was just like dreadful how we played. Yeah, I'm glad we've got an away goal. I think that was the only positive. I still can't believe we didn't play a striker. I was quite gobsmacked by that, because maybe if you play Newcastle, you can do that, but not in that game. So yeah, I'm over it now. But I just think going to the game on Thursday, we've just got to score as many goals as we can. But I think it is good we've got an away goal though.
Yeah, I think that away goal will definitely give you the advantage going into Thursday's game. How do you feel confident going into Thursday after that win against Newcastle yesterday, Jen?
Personally, yeah, I do. I always think if you have a win, like when we went into the game before this last Thursday against Everton, we'd lost, right? So he was switching things up around again. We've won this week. I feel he knows who he wants to play. He knows who he's going to be playing on Thursday. And it just gives the whole team a boost, and hopefully we'll have a different referee. I mean, the referee we had last Thursday was absolutely diabolical. Absolutely ridiculous. You think the English referees are bad? Oh my God. I don't want to go and watch a Portuguese game ever if that's the standard of refereeing over there. So sorry.
You're fine. What do you think, Soph? Are you confident about Thursday now after that win? Obviously, with the Aubameyang coming back after being sick with malaria as well, so obviously that was a big confidence boost for you.
I mean, I don't know. I think I want to be confident, but I'm not. I'm just going to be honest. I'm not confident, because we always give goals away. We just do stupid things, and we never take our chances. And our defending's bad, and Louise is out. So I'm not. If we want to win, we can do it, because like when we want to beat big teams, we can, but we never actually show it. But saying that, we always leave things for second leg, and we always perform well on the second leg. So I'm in the middle. I'm like in the middle about it. I think we can. But yeah, again, it's all about who Arteta plays. And hopefully he plays a striker this time.
Yeah, I reckon it'd be quite tough, and to be honest, it's probably going to be your biggest game of the season. So yeah, it will be quite tough. I'll move on to United's game against Roma on Thursday. Obviously, we were quite disappointed in the first half. We couldn't really get into it, and we were making stupid mistakes. But the second half, Ollie must have really given them the hairdryer treatment, because Cavani, Pogba, Bruno had an absolutely world-class performance in that second half. What do you make of the game against Roma, Greg?
Yeah, I think it's sort of what we've come to expect from Man United, especially this season. I don't think Ollie would have had to say much. We obviously spoke about this yesterday on what was meant to be a pre-match with Keane, that I don't think Ollie would have had to say much on Thursday. He would have just sort of had to say, do you want to be known as the team that's lost 5 semi-finals? Because as much as Ollie doesn't want to be painted with that brush, there's supposed winners in that team that also don't want to be. So that's really all Ollie would have had to say. And he was absolutely right what he said in his post-match as well. They created absolutely nothing. They got their 2 goals out of a penalty and a chance that we gave them. Apart from that, they were pretty awful all night. They got their away goal, and they looked to defend, obviously, especially once they went 2-1 up. They were just sort of looking to sit back, and I thought we were brilliant in that second half. Absolutely untouchable. If we play like that or anywhere near that level in the final, I don't care if it's Arsenal or Villarreal, it won't matter. Because they won't touch us, especially with players like Pogba and Bruno playing like that. Cavani gelling so well. I was slightly disappointed in Rashford, but I'm still not fully convinced he's fit, anywhere near fit at all. He's had a tough couple of games, but apart from that, I thought we were brilliant. We did exactly what we should have done in the previous legs as well, to just go out and kill the tie really nice and early, and not have to worry about the next leg. So yeah.
Yeah, obviously it was really, really nice to have scored 6 goals like in a Europa League semi-final.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was great, and it makes us feel a bit more comfortable going into the second leg as well. And not only that, our next leg is away from home, and everyone knows what our away form is like this season. So hopefully, it will be a good game. We'll be able to just kill it off in the first half. There was a comment in here from Danielle. Greg, would you go full strength on Thursday?
Obviously, with yesterday's game not getting played, I suppose it changes things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd go sort of if the players are there and want to play. Obviously, I don't think players like Rashford should play. I think you should take the chance to rest, maybe. But I don't see any reason why Bruno shouldn't play, why Cavani shouldn't play if they're not played yesterday against Liverpool. Yeah, why not? Why not go out there and just try and put 2, 3, 4 past them? Because if you go out there and you score 2 goals early on, you can bring the kids on, you can bring Ahmad on, if you break Shoretire, you can bring him on. I think Telles will start anyway. Telles tends to start sort of dead or just nothing games for Man United. So yeah, I would certainly go stronger based on obviously yesterday's game not happening. We can definitely go stronger than what we would have done, but I don't think it's going to really matter. Like I could play in the centre of midfield, and that game's going to be too big for those Roma players. Like they just look completely stunned. They weren't able to cope with anything really.
Yeah, I was saying as well if we rested a couple of players, but now that the game yesterday didn't go ahead and like go full strength, kill it off in the first half, bring the kids on the second half, sure, why not? We'll move on then. So as a collective thing, obviously we all seen the scenes at Old Trafford yesterday. I'm all for protests, don't mind protests. But when it comes to violence and vandalism, that is not okay. I just seen the way, like obviously videos emerged last night and today of how they actually got into the stadium and what actually happened inside the stadium. Flares thrown up towards the broadcaster's box, just about missing Souness and Carragher. One of the fans actually broke in the door, and the same person threw a camera. So I feel like there was people there for the wrong reasons. They weren't there for the right reason. I think it completely overshadowed what the protest was actually about. What did you make of the protest yesterday, Jen?
Yeah, the same as you, really. I'm really kind of militant. I'm quite a militant person, and when I'm looking back on, like when I was younger, I mean, I stood outside a Highbury, and I was only 13, trying to get our manager out because he was rubbish, Terry O'Neill, like. And my mum had a right go at me when I went home and said, "What are you trying to lose a manager's job for?" And I've been on loads of marches and all of that, but I really do believe that peaceful process is the best way to get your opinion across and your voice heard. Yes, you managed to get the game stopped yesterday, but I don't know, is that a good thing? Do you know, going on a pitch that costs thousands of pounds to keep in pristine condition, you're costing your club money. You know, are they going to get fined now? I don't think so by the looks of what's going on. But if the club gets fined, you're costing your club money. You're not costing the Glazers money. The Glazers are just going to take it out of the club pot, you know, like they've done all along since they came into power there. So I don't agree with them breaking in because it's breaking in and entering. And I don't agree with them being on the pitch and costing your money, all the supporters. It's all your money that's going into that club. It's your money that they've now used, will have to be used to fix the pitch, fix whatever they've damaged. Peaceful process is, you know, protest is the way to go, in my opinion.
Yeah, like I feel like because of what happened inside the stadium, I feel like the Glazers are just going to look at that and go, they're just a bunch of hooligans.
Yeah.
That's it. Like I think it completely overshadowed the actual purpose of the protest. Greg, obviously you were on the pre-match show with us yesterday. Yeah. Has any of your views changed in any way about the protest?
I think slightly. I think the first thing I was obviously yesterday I was really angry that they'd done it, and really was almost ashamed to sort of be a Man United fan at that point, because the only way they were getting it, and there's people saying, oh, they were let through a gate. There's absolutely no way they were let through a gate. They broke their way into the stadium, and the fact that they did that is completely wrong. Like you said, some people were there for the wrong reasons, just to cause havoc and to cause damage and to really cause a riot. But there were, looking at the videos and things like that, like there's whole families there and stuff. There's mums, dads, there's little kids that are running around on the pitch, and sort of with that, like I suppose that's like the message they're trying to get across. They're trying to show the Glazers that it's not a case of like, oh, we put on a scarf or we put on a hat or we put on the shirt and like, yeah, we want them to win, and then when the game's not on, we don't think about the club, or we don't think about it. It's like when you support a football club, they're trying to show that this is more than just something you support. It's everything to them. It's families. It's everything like that. So I think a lot of people were there for the right reasons, but obviously the people, they don't get the same publicity as the idiot that smashed the camera and broke his way into the stadium by kicking the door down, and the people that threw flares and were trying to goad police into a fight and things like that. Like, it's just, that takes away all the work. Anyone that was there for any good reason gets completely overshadowed, because now the media have their thing to lynch on to, have their way to spin it. And it just makes us all look bad. I said yesterday, and I still believe, the Glazers are sat in Florida laughing at that protest yesterday. Yeah, they've taken notice. Okay, they know we were upset, but they knew we were upset anyway when we protested outside Leeds. I get the point in trying to stop the game. It's to show the Glazers that, and the chant that was going on outside the Lowry yesterday is, we'll decide when you play. And it's to show the Glazers that the team, like the club, belongs to the fans, and so does the team. And I get that message, but there must be better ways to do it than breaking onto your own pitch. Okay, you want the game suspended, protest outside the Lowry. You don't want the players to leave, don't let the buses through, fine. I don't see why you had to break onto the pitch, smash cameras and throw flares and stuff like that. But I'm the same as you. Some people were there for the right reasons and sort of got caught up in the moment. And I'm not going to say if I wasn't there and there was a door open at Old Trafford and there was thousands of people running through onto the pitch, and I was really thinking against this cause, that I wouldn't be out there as well. I wouldn't go around smashing cameras and fighting police officers, but I'm not going to say I wouldn't walk down an open door in Old Trafford where loads of people are going. And I think a lot of people got swept up in it yesterday. But yeah, like I said, there's a lot of people there for the wrong reasons as well.
Yeah, like I was getting comments on Twitter yesterday basically saying, oh, you were all for the protest last week. You said you'd love to be there. But I was like, yeah, but I wouldn't be breaking down doors and vandalising the place. That's completely different.
The protest outside the stadium looked massive as well. It looked brilliant.
Yeah.
Like, it looked like football fans, and they were chanting Ollie, they were chanting about Bruno, they were chanting about Rashford, it was football fans. What it seemed to me is, like, when the people broke into the stadium, it went from being a football protest to just sort of being thuggery and being vandalism and things like that as well. I just feel like there's better ways in which it could have been done, and it completely under, like, the Glazers don't deserve any sort of respect or anything like that. They don't deserve any sort of respect in terms of what, for everything they've done for Man United, everything they've done to Man United, and all the money they've taken out. But I feel like showing that your stadium needs work by kicking in a door is a bit like crashing your car to use the warranty. It's a bit strange. It's a bit backwards. It doesn't make sense. Like, there must be other ways in which you can do it. And obviously Manchester United made that statement today. A lot of people were unhappy about it, but I think that's the right. Anyone that if you were caught on camera going into that, breaking into that stadium or doing anything like that, you should be banned. You should be banned from Manchester United. You should be banned from the Emirates. You should be banned from Stamford Bridge. You should be banned from every sporting ground in this country, because that's the only way that these people wouldn't do it again, or people won't get the idea to do that again. That happens. I know that's what they do in Australia. If you break into a stadium in Australia, or if you streak, or if you were to run across a pitch in Australia, you're banned from every single sporting venue in that country for life. You will not get into a sporting event, and that's what needs to happen. So that idiot that was caught kicking down the door, I don't care if he's a season ticket holder, you kick him out. People are like, you got to crack a few eggs to make an omelette. Oh, fine, that's the same case. You've given up your season ticket and everything like that to make yourself look like an idiot. That's fine. That was your sacrifice. But some people were there for the right reasons, and just some of them took it a bit far.
Yeah, like I seen there's a few comments in here about the police going too far as well. That is obviously the case too.
Yeah.
It did turn very violent though, because obviously we did see a police officer injured as well. So,
but it does with football fans. Like that's what it seems.
Yeah.
It seems like in this country can't take things to a certain level and then leave them. It's got to always go that little bit too far. You see it when England go away as well. Like, there's always trouble when England supporters are around. And I'm not making the assumption that all English people are bad, but it seems to be something with football fans in this country, or in this country in general, that just can't seem to take it to a level and then stop, realize where the line is. They've always got to push it and push it and push it. And yeah, it was always going to, the minute they were breaking onto the pitch, we said on the pre-match yesterday, the only thing it was going to do at that point was turn violent. Credit to the police for not trying to lift people and arrest people inside the stadium, because that's when it could have got really messy and a lot of people could have got hurt. They got them outside and arrested them then and sort of dealt with them that way. But yeah, it just seems to be we knew exactly once there was that many people and no police that things were going to sort of turn violent very quickly.
Yeah, like I was actually shocked at the amount of people that had turned up yesterday, to be honest, because there was thousands of people there. So what did you make of the overall protest yesterday?
I agree with like what you guys are saying mainly. I think that like Arsenal are in a similar situation to Man United. Like we've had enough of our owners. But I think the first thing that I thought was about the safety. Like you can't be going into like the stadium breaking in, and I was watching like Sky Sports, and like Graham Souness was saying that they nearly whacked a beer can at them and like all sorts. So yeah, I don't agree with that. I agree with the protesting outside the stadium because it looked okay to me, but I just thought it was too far in the stadium, and I do get fans' frustrations because Arsenal are very frustrated too. We've had enough, and obviously they've betrayed us now with the whole Super League stuff. But I didn't agree with going in the stadium. I thought it was too far, and I think it looks so bad on them. All my United fans, because I don't think all of them are like that. I just think it's just a part of them that did that. So I don't think it looks that good on them. But yeah, I agree with the protesting, but obviously not in the stadium.
Yeah, and in the manner as well that some fans have carried it out too. Obviously Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville, Souness, they all had a comment on it. Now, to be honest, I think Souness was talking out his arse like he always does. But other than that, I think Gary Neville and Carragher are pretty spot on about the whole situation. Now, they said that it wasn't really violent inside. Now, looking at from our point of view, it was just the vandalism part, but obviously outside they get a bit violent.
Yeah.
What did you make of the comments yesterday, Jen?
Sorry now, I'm going to upset you both. I think Gary Neville is a total bollocks. I think he doesn't want to get Man United supporters on his back, right? I know he's all, I love the club, and he does love the club and he loves the supporters, but he doesn't want to say anything that'll annoy the majority of United supporters, right? When he said, yeah, they're not violent, they're walking past us and they're going, all right, mate, how are you? That's fair enough. But was he watching the other people throwing the flares? Did he see the people throwing the cans? If it was Arsenal, now I know I'm coming from a biased point of view because I am Arsenal. If it was us, right, say we were playing at home against Newcastle yesterday, and they were all there, the pundits are all sitting there in Manchester, and the same thing happens at the Emirates, we would be called hooligans. We would be called vandals. They wouldn't say, oh, look at Arsenal. Oh, yeah, they're doing the right thing. They're being very, they're not very violent at all. They're walking around. It's really peaceful. No, they wouldn't say that about us. So I thought it was very, very biased of Neville. But then again, I think Souness was talking complete shite as well. So, because the pundits they've kind of backed down on it a bit and said, oh no, they shouldn't have done it. But if United are not punished for what's happened. I'm extremely worried for Thursday or the following Sunday when we're supposed to have our protest, that it's going to happen at the Emirates. And I really don't want it, because if it happens on Thursday at the Emirates, we're chucked out of Europe. And people go, oh, yeah, well, you're out of Europe anyway. But it's not that. Like, it could be all clubs chucked out of Europe, like it did when Liverpool got us all chucked out in the 90s? 80s?
Late
Do you know?
90s, I think, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and I remember it was the first time Arsenal were actually in Europe as the kind of way it is now. And we couldn't go in because we were chucked out because of what happened with Liverpool.
Yeah.
So, you know, they need to stamp on this. They can't have pundits going, oh, yeah, it's fine because they were peaceful in the stadium. They've got to stamp on it some way, because you won't be the only club doing it. Arsenal will do it next. Chelsea probably won't, because they're not sick of their owners. It's our two clubs that are sick of our owners.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm really worried. Not that I want you punished. Not that it doesn't make any odds to me if you lose 3 points to Liverpool. I mean, you know, it makes no odds to me. But, you know, I just think, oh my God, the repercussions down the line could be disastrous for the whole of English football. Not, you know, and that's where the pundits have peed me off, because of the way Gary Neville has said, oh, well, it's fine because they were peaceful in here. They broke and entered into a stadium. Yeah. There needs to be repercussions. Yeah. Sorry, and that's my little rant.
I just think. Oh. Go on, Greg. Sorry.
I do think the pundits were very nice about it until the game got cancelled, and then suddenly, when it was hurting their pockets and it ruined their Sunday night entertainment, they fell out with everyone and they decided no, it wasn't good enough. Like, people that treat Sky as this beacon of light in football. Is like, I worked for the company for 2 years, and the people that I work with, like above me, are horrible people. So I can't imagine what they're like above. In terms of what they were thinking. But all the pundits, they seemed to be, it was all like, oh, yeah, all peaceful protests, so we'll still get a game. And then as soon as the game was cancelled, as soon as Carragher said it was cancelled, that's when Souness was like, because there was no script at that point. After that bit, like, there was no script. Amazing what happens to these people that don't have a brain when there's no script in front of them to tell them what they've got to say. And they got Graham Souness coming at a beer can nearly killed me. You planted a flag in Galatasaray. Like, are you an idiot?
Exactly.
Like, he used to tackle, like, every tackle was going to be his last one in life. Like, he was, and talk about a beer. Okay, yeah. So people did come in and they did things wrong. But I do think Carragher and Neville were speaking more of a point of view before the game got cancelled, that they're football fans that are frustrated. And then sort of as soon as their Sunday night entertainment went away, that's when everyone fell out. And that's when that's when it really started to get, like, people talking about it, that, like, oh, we've got all the vandals and all the hooligans and all the assaults and everything like that, because that's what those fans wanted to achieve. They wanted to ruin people's Sundays. They didn't want the game to go ahead. They wanted people to be annoyed because it makes them take notice, because now they've got to say why. Because if that game goes ahead and Cavani goes and scores and we win 3-0, that's the headline the next day, is Man United win. Whereas, like, the fact the game didn't go ahead, the headline's why didn't the game go ahead, and that's what the important bit is. But I'd found that really interesting with Sky, is that as soon as the game was called off, that's when their perspective changed. It was like they were told to say something different, and they just kept cutting to Graham Souness every time he had, like, sort of a bubble of thought, and it was just getting more and more ridiculous. Like, it was shocking. But I don't agree. Like, they were like this with the ESL as well. Like, they were trying to act like they were the beacon of light. Like, they're the reason the Premier League happened. And the same arguments were coming up about the Premier League, that it nearly killed the Football League. And had there not been the drip down of money that was agreed very late on in the Premier League discussions, because it wasn't originally agreed for that amount of money to drip down at the Football League, the Football League wouldn't exist. And it was Sky that agreed the deal to show the Premier League. So, I just don't. I feel like it changed very quickly once the game was cancelled, and it was just a lot of it was people talking basically out their arse. I do think with Neville as well in the past, when he talks about, like, the Glazers and things like that, he speaks from a football owner's perspective. He doesn't speak from a fan's perspective very often. And then when I think times like yesterday, when it sounded like he was speaking like a fan, it sounds like he's waffling. It sounds like he was just sort of trying to appease people. But I do think most of the time he tries to speak from a perspective of someone that owns a football club and tries to relate to that. And also he's got to look out for himself, because if that ESL goes ahead, that dream of Salford becoming a Football League club, a Championship club, a Champions League club, that goes, and all that money he's put in. So who could blame him? Because he's put a lot of money into Salford. So who could blame him about being worried about the ESL on a personal level? Because I would be. So I feel like he has, because he has the owner and he's a fan and he's a pundit, people always want him to say something, but he's always being asked questions from different perspectives. So it makes it sound like he's waffling a lot of the time. And I do think he genuinely cares about the club. And I believe what he said yesterday was what he thought, that these people were annoyed. Same with Keane. Keane was like, you got to applaud them. Maybe not applaud them, but in terms of like for standing and making a stand out of it all, I think that has to be applauded for taking it into our own hands again. But obviously people have taken it too far.
I think obviously with the announcement of the Super League, with a lot of us fans and the likes of Gary Neville, we have so much love for this club, and I think with that announcement of the Super League, and we already hated the Glazers, it just pushed us over the edge, and I think that's why Gary went all in on the Glazers then. But I do agree with Gary Neville. I won't lie. I have said stuff in the past. I don't like him as a commentator. I actually can't listen to him as a commentator. A pundit, he's actually all right, but I do agree with everything he's saying, to be honest. So what did you make of the comments from the commentators yesterday?
Well, I think like when it all started off, as I said before, I didn't agree with them going into the stadium, and I was listening to Gary Neville and like Jamie Carragher, and I'm thinking like they were only seeing it from like, I think they were kind of seeing it like the fans just wanted to protest and get their voices heard, but you can't break it. You can't go into a stadium, break in and do stuff like that. So I'm kind of with Jen on this a bit. Like, I love Gary Neville. I love his passion for, I hate Man United, but I love how much he loves like football. But I wasn't at all with what he had to say, if I'm being honest. Like, when it happened, I just had the mindset of like, you can't break in, like, in that way, like with the violence, and I kind of thought he was seeing it from like his point of view as a fan, or I don't know. I mean, I didn't watch all of it, if I'm being honest, but I thought he was only seeing it in one way, and outside it was like chaos, and I'm sure they didn't actually know what was going on outside a lot. They might have not seen it all because they've just been in the stadium, but from like what we've seen on the internet, it looks reckless, like what has happened. But yeah, I mean, I'm with Jen a bit, but I'm in a bit of both. I do get what you mean, though.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at it from the outside, obviously you would be a bit skeptical. So I don't actually blame you. So I'm gonna. Yeah. So what bits and bobs in the house?
How you doing? You okay, guys? Did Keane let you tell you that I was going to be late because I was on another show? So apologise. Hope
no worries
everyone's
at all. Good. How was your weekend?
Oh well, I mean, Sunday was eventful.
Got a show ahead.
Yeah. To say the least, anyway.
Yeah. Do you know what's funny? Me and Greg do watch-alongs, right? And the usual chat, just getting set up, how are you and stuff, and then he was like, "That there might not be a game," and I was talking to Football Capital, who's based in Sydney, so it was like 3-4 in the morning there, and I was like, "You need to put your TV on," and I was just watching. I was thinking, fair play to them. Fair play to them. It wasn't even like, oh my goodness. It was like, fair play to them. Look, I don't condone violence, not at all. And the unfortunate thing, no matter what when these things happen, there are people that just go there for a drink up and a tear up, as they say. Yeah. But I think the message was loudly and received. Fair play to everyone that went, and I think this is the start of something where, boy, I don't know what to label it as, but they always say the revolution will be televised, so I think something's happening, 100%. How are you guys' weekend? Unfortunately, I've missed the beginning of the show, Amy, because I was on something, so I've not been able to watch it back. But I hope I'm not making you guys repeat yourself. But what was your thoughts on it?
We're basically saying that we're all for the peaceful protest, but vandalism and violence is completely out of the question. I think we all agreed on that, to be honest. I think some people were just there for the wrong reasons completely. And going by United's statement anyway, it looks like actions will be taking place towards these people. Obviously, we did see the videos of the guy breaking down the door and the same guy throwing the camera. So looks like there could be precautions done there. We were just speaking as well, it's just about United's game versus Roma last Thursday. What did you make of the game overall?
I mean, let's talk about six, baby. Oh no, it was like I said. Look, me and Greg are co-hosts on the watch-alongs, and if you saw the way me and him were speaking at half-time, oh my goodness, it was unbelievable. And do you know what? I know we have the Ollie in, Ollie out, yeah, but me and Greg were saying, like, for Ollie, he must have been spinning inside, must have been like, yeah. Finally, I dare say, got to a final, got this hood off his back. I'm happy because, if I'm honest, actually, I'm actually happy because I sent Greg a WhatsApp message. I sent him a screenshot of EasyJet of flights to Belfast because the UEFA Super Cup is in Belfast. So I'm already thinking we won it. I'm like, let's go. I was just happy, and I think it just showed how important Pogba is, Bruno and Cavani, and I think that game, that second half, proved to everyone that there shouldn't be a discussion if Bruno and Pogba can play together. Look at flipping Man City. They put all their good players on the pitch. Like, there's no discussion with them. But now I was just happy. 6-2 guys, like, come on, like, it was
in the semi-final of Europa League final too.
Exactly. I don't care if it's Europa. We're still in Europe.
Exactly.
Some people couldn't even defend their own league title, and some people can't even win the Champions League. So for me, I'm happy for us. I'm happy for us. Like, no offense to Arsenal fans here, but I'm happy for Man United fans because
We've been through a lot.
We have suffered, and now we're in the final. Well, one foot in the final.
We're also speaking there about the pundits' comments about the protest yesterday. What did you make of their comments? Souness, Carragher, and Neville.
Souness is an idiot. Souness has been being an idiot. We forget this is the guy that went into Turkey with a Galatasaray flag put on. Souness is from Scotland. He's from Edinburgh, right, where I live, where I'm from. And this guy's been making so many out of context sentences, phrases about Man United. For him to say, "Oh, if Man United will win the league," shut up, mate. Like, do you know what people were doing before they even bought the club? We were saying not for sale. When we're winning Champions Leagues, when we're getting to the finals, we're saying not for sale, go away and stuff. So this has been happening, and I always say to people, no matter what the subject is, if you don't have any clue about it, if you want to talk passionately, do your homework, do your research. Simple as that. If I said to you, "Oh, guys, I'm going to get the new Nike Air Max, whatever," you're not going to say to me, "Oh, they're rubbish," without actually looking at it or reading about it, right? You wouldn't talk recklessly. But I've also got to say, Sky know what they're doing. They always paint this villain picture, and then the hero. They had Souness as the villain, Jamie and Gary as the heroes and stuff. So, yeah. And with Jamie and Gary, I really liked what Jamie said because he's a rival fan, but he's also a football man. With Gary Neville, I agree with him. Everything he said. What annoys me is just that when he says, "I've been quiet for too long," and I'm just like, why have you been quiet for too long? Is that Keane?
Yeah.
Yeah, I texted him that as well with the final stuff. But yeah, I just annoyed me because it's like, you've got the biggest platform on Sky Sports. You've changed the way football punditry is and how the football fan looks at football. You've had this platform. I just kept thinking, why are you saying this now? Then I've done a little digging. It's because it affects his football club and his finances. But don't get me wrong, I agree with everything he says, 100% word for word.
I think he's just very passionate about the club, and I think for a lot of us fans, we didn't like the Glazers, and the Super Cup stuff just pushed us over the edge, to be honest, or the Super League, sorry. It just pushed us over the edge, to be honest, and that's why we are where we are now. We'll move on to where both of us are playing our second legs in the Europa League on Thursday. How do you think Arsenal are going to fare out, Jen?
Right, I think we're going to win because I never ever say we're going to lose, do I? We only need to win 1-0.
Yeah.
Do you know? And if it goes 2-1, it's extra time. I've got a feeling it's more likely to be 2-1 in extra time. I've kind of worked out my team, right? And it's really hard at the minute to work out your team because I would have said on Sunday before Louise got injured, Louise and Gabrielle definitely are going to play. But now I'm like, oh my God, who are they going to play? Martinelli had a good game on Sunday as well. Is he going to play? Do we play Oba? You know, so I was looking at it and I'm thinking, well, the news then today that Leno wants to leave the club is very heartbreaking as well. I'm like, oh my God, what is going on? Yeah, he apparently said that he wants to leave the club, that he's looking for a move.
But do you not think there's better keepers out there? Like, it's like playing with 10. Like, Bob's actually said that. Bob said that on Thursday, genuinely, as he was like, Arsenal playing with 10, and I was like, is Leno in goal again? Like, I didn't even know he'd had a man sent off. He actually
kept us in the tie on Thursday. He kept us in the tie on Thursday.
I think there's a personal issue there, isn't there, Jen? I think it might be a personal issue there, isn't it? I think Leno has been an upgrade on what you've had previously, 100%. I think, this is for me anyway, I think it's personal. I don't think he's settled.
100% and apparently he doesn't like the trainer, like the goalkeeper trainer, do you know? But why say it this year when we got rid of Martinez, like, who was just as good a goalkeeper as him? We got rid of him last year. Well, no, we didn't get rid of him. We sold him for 20 million, which is brilliant for us. But
can I say something about Martinez? Not Martinez, Leno. I think with Leno, I think with Leno is that I don't think, like, from what I've seen recently, his heart doesn't seem to be in it anymore. And like, because we've made so many mistakes this season, I don't know if he's fed up with the players making mistakes after mistake, because when we concede goals, it does look bad on Leno. So I can't blame him for being fed up, because this season we've been like really bad with mistakes. So he has saved us so many times, so we have to remember that. So, like, if he went, I'd be absolutely devastated, but I feel like I would understand. But it's a shame because Martinez has gone. He was, like, another great goalkeeper.
What do you think you get for Leno?
They're getting Chesney. Is it Chesney? Am I pronouncing right? Chesney? Is that
Chesney?
Chesney. Yeah, that's what the talks are right now. But I think
might be going to
if a goalkeeper and the goalkeeping trainer, we've seen at Man United, De Gea went through a few. De Gea's not been the same since his original one left. And I just think, he's just not. You know, Arsenal do make mistakes, but I just think he's just not came across as, I want to be here. This is me for the next so and so years. And when you see the way Martinez is playing, look, hindsight's a good thing, isn't it, guys? Let's be honest. You want to know, and when you make an investment in Leno, he has to play regardless. So I think it's unfortunate, but it could be a good thing, because it could be like, well, if you don't want to be here, Arteta could be like, well, if you don't want to be here, get out the club. Do you know what I mean? So
I would feel that about players. If they don't want to be at the club, let them go. Sell them for as much as we can. But it's just unfortunate. He didn't say that last season, at the end of last season, when we had Martinez, when we had a really good backup goalkeeper. Why didn't he let it be known that actually, keep Martinez. I don't mind being sold. Do you know?
Maybe he's not getting a new contract.
No comment.
Nick Pope's a shout. Nick Pope is probably really Like Burnley need money. I reckon you
Yeah,
could get 30 million. You could get him out of Burnley.
I'll throw this question out to Jen and Soph. Who would you go for if Leno was to leave?
I think you go, Soph.
I don't
I
know,
don't
to be
know.
honest. Honestly, I like Matt Ryan's obviously in goal. Do you know yesterday, right? I've been thinking about Leno for a long time actually, and I know he saved us the other night, but I've been thinking like he's not himself, and I've been concerned, but I didn't want to like admit it. I've just been having like these thoughts, and I saw Matt Ryan play yesterday, and I thought I just feel so safe. Like I feel like he's so calm on the ball, and I know against Newcastle he didn't have an awful lot to do, but everything he did well. And I know Matt Ryan's. I don't know if he's going to stay next season. I know he's on loan. Do you know? I don't know who he'd bring in. That's the thing. I know Matt Ryan's for now. He's probably, if Lonnie did go. Do you know? I really don't know who would bring in. But it's just concerning because we don't want to hear this now. So yeah, I literally have no clue.
It's tough, isn't it, when you think about it for Arsenal, because if Leno, that was seen as this keeper that was going to dominate for your position, saying I want to leave, what does that say about Arsenal? You know, it tells me as a rival fan something's not right there. You know, what's going on? Because at the end of the day, why would you not want to stay at Arsenal? You're going to play every game. You're the number one there. So for someone to say, I want to leave my number one position, let's not crack a joke here. Arsenal are a big club, okay? One of the biggest clubs in London, one of the biggest clubs in the Premier League, one of the biggest clubs in Europe. Why would you, as a player, as a number one, confirmed playing every week, say, I want to leave? I don't get that. Where are you going?
Dortmund is linked with, isn't it? So it might be homesick.
Yeah.
You might want to go back to Germany.
Homesick. I mean, look at De Gea. De Gea
Exactly.
you know,
Come on,
same
man.
things happen with you, really.
So,
I
Dortmund
think
need a
it's
keeper as
personal.
well.
It must be something
Play for
personal.
Dortmund.
Well, him and Arteta have had a misunderstanding or an argument, because I cannot, for the life of me, you normally expect this from the sub goalie, the number 2, the number 3, but from your number 1,
yeah.
And it's not like he's the top 5 keepers in the Premier League. So I mean, he's a bit brazy if you ask me. But hey, it's not my club. Hey, Greg, Amy, it's not our club.
We've got a different issue at goalkeeper. We've got 2 good.
We've actually 3 good keepers because Ramiro is there as well. He's just kind of faded away into the background. We've 3 good keepers.
Yeah.
I was actually going to come on to Ramiro because I wish United would sell him, because he actually deserves to be at a good club where he will get game time, because he's a really good keeper. I think he'd be first choice keeper for a number of teams in the Premier League. But United didn't want to sell him to any Premier League club, and now he's just stuck in the background, just about going to training, as I hear. It's not really fair, to be honest. But look, if De Gea is to be going, I'd say he'd probably be back being our second choice goalkeeper, which I don't know. But Jen, who do you think Arsenal should get as a keeper? Anyone that springs to mind?
Linked with somebody called my gran. I don't know. Do you know? I haven't literally looking at it before I came on here, and like bits and Bob says, I don't want to say much because I haven't done any of my homework on it.
He's really good.
I only know we've been linked with him.
He's been really good this season. He's AC Milan are wanting him as well if Donnarumma leaves. He's been playing for Lille this season. He's been playing really, really well, actually.
Oh, the Lille goalkeeper.
Yeah, he's a top keeper.
Oh my.
This season, which is like one of the highest in Europe. He's playing really, really well. He's a good keeper. He's more of a sweeper than sort of Leno is. He's much more comfortable with the ball at his feet than Leno is as well. But he's going to cost a lot of money. But maybe not coming to France this summer, because they need to sell a lot. Like every French team's going to be selling. It'll probably be a good summer for Arsenal if there's French people getting sold. They'll be fine.
So we need to get Wenger back.
Honestly,
might be more of an incentive for him to leave as well.
Yeah, we'll win the league and move on to his next challenge. It might be the Premier League. He's a good keeper, though. He played really well the other night. They came back they were 2-1 down against Lyon, came back and won 3-2, and he was really, really good. So, yeah, he's a good player.
Go on, Bobs, I'll give you that question.
I don't want to swear on your channel, mate. I don't want to swear on your channel. But listen, the big only Spurs can sack your only hope for winning a trophy a week before your cup final, and then put in a 29-year-old with no experience to against the best manager in the league. It's literally such a Spurs thing to do, man. But I don't want to swear on your channel.
I am fully convinced, right? I don't think. Well, to be honest, I think Jose Mourinho could have said something about the Super League, and that's why he got sacked.
No, it was money.
I don't think.
Because I think what was it that they were getting so much money in that it didn't really matter. They were like, yeah, that's fine, I'm getting the money back. But obviously it never went ahead. They've had to shell out 30 million to him. So that you look even more stupid now.
Completely backfired, like.
And do you know what? Good. Because do you know what? You might not like him, yeah, and I've said this for other people. You might not like him. I like him because he gave us 2 trophies, right? And for me, I always say to Tottenham fans, I say, just mind yourselves, remember why you hired him. The guy you called Pochettino played your best football, won nothing. Every team goes for Jose because they want trophies. Okay?
Yeah.
Simple as that. And he got into a cup final and you had the audacity to sack him because of money. You deserve to get relegated. Get lost. Literally. Get relegated. Burn to ashes. Like it doesn't make any sense, guys, right? Imagine, guys, right? I'm the owner of a club. Amy, you and the girls are the coaching staff, right? And I've got you in to win trophies. You get into a cup final. We play horrible, but the way I see it, the players have never been good enough anyway. And then I get into a cup final, and then I get rid of you guys. Like, what? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
it doesn't. That's why I'm fully convinced he said something about Super League, because he does strike me as the type of person who would be very straightforward about it, and he would come out and say something. So I reckon it was definitely something to do with that, because it was very out of the blue and days before a cup final as well, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So yeah, sorry. So we've actually gone off topic a little bit. So Jen, are you going to go with a 2-1 90 minutes Arsenal extra time then?
Right. Yeah, that's kind of where my thought is. I'm hoping it'll be a 1-0, but you can never trust Arsenal in the last few minutes. If we're 1-0 up, they're going to score. So, we need to score early like we did against Newcastle on Sunday. And if you score early, then you're calm. You could see it on Sunday. They were so much calmer. Once they scored, it was like, yeah, we're in control of this. And I would definitely play Pepe. I would play Martinelli. And I'd play Aubameyang. They would all be in my team because we need goals. And they are goal scorers.
So what do you think? How are you feeling about it?
Do you know what? I want to say I'm positive, but I'm not. I'm just not confident at all, because we're Arsenal. We're so inconsistent, and yeah, I mean, I'm in the middle of it. I want to be positive because in the second leg we have done better than the first leg. I think with the lineup, I think I will put Saka at left back, or maybe Cedric. I don't know. Maybe Saka at left back. I would like to see Martinelli, Aubameyang, Pepe. Pepe definitely deserves to start, and I think we should put Xhaka in the midfield with Partey. I didn't want to see Ceballos playing. I'm sorry, but no. And yeah, I mean, I think we can win it, but I'm just more nervous about if we get to the final. I can't deal with playing Man United. That would probably kill me. But yeah, I hope we can win.
They haven't beaten us this season, love.
Best way to start.
I know that.
Best way to start, Jen. Best way to start.
We put it that
We're
way.
near-
Haven't beaten us yet this season.
We're nearly
We're one of your
beating our
favourite
semi.
teams.
We're nearly beating our semi-final curse. So hopefully, if we do get Arsenal in the final, we could beat that as well. So
Oh, I
We'll see
couldn't do
what
that, you
we
know.
Emery knows how to
Do you
win
know
in this
what?
competition, though, doesn't he? Like, it's Emery's competition. He's won it so many times. He knows how to grind out results in second legs, especially in Europe. So it'll be interesting to see. I think Arsenal have too much for them, to be honest, because Villarreal were bad. I watched the game on Friday. Like, for all the Arsenal were all like. Good thing about Arsenal is they can't be that bad again. Like, I actually think it's physically impossible to be as bad as they were in the first half again.
I don't think it is. I think Arsenal will
They can
probably do
only be
something like
better.
that.
And
Okay,
Villarreal
so-
weren't great for like all the ball that they had. Every chance was sort of like half chances and just sort of things bobbling through to them, and then obviously the flick on at the corner and stuff. Like it wasn't like they were free flowing football, breaking Arsenal down and cutting them in half. It was just, I don't know, just like the Arsenal players weren't really up for it. And then the away goal, I think the away goal saved them. I think 2-0 the ties, it's a lot harder, obviously.
Well, Greg, though, what you've just said, though, can happen at home, the defence. And look, Villarreal would just think to themselves, we score a goal,
We're
listen.
good.
Do you know what I'm trying to say to you? And this is the thing about away ties and stuff, and two-legged ties. If you score one goal, if they score one goal, Arsenal need to score three. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you? So, and look, as much as I'd love to see you guys get spanked, I'd rather beat you in the final.
Yeah, we'd rather
I'd rather
spank
spank you in the
four
final.
or
Yeah.
5. Yeah, be fine.
You know what I must say about Arsenal though is that, do you know, when we want to win, we can really beat anyone. Like in the FA Cup final, like I still can't go over that we beat City, Chelsea. So I think if we did get Man United and we wanted to win, I think we really could. And also, because of what's happened with Baku, because of what happened, I don't think we'd want to go back there. So I think we have a chance, but I just wouldn't want to play Man United. But yeah, I think we have to win that.
we'll move on to United's game against Roma. Obviously, we got the 6-2 win in the first leg, so I'm actually quite confident going into the second leg. We were talking about earlier how we'd actually play a full strength team now and kill off the game the first half, considering we didn't play yesterday, so at least they have a few days rest before this game. Greg, how are you feeling about going into this game?
Yeah, pretty much as confident as you could be. Obviously, they need a lot of goals, and they didn't look like scoring at all, like or breaking us down at all. We gifted them the goals in the first leg, and I just think we'll be, even if because they've got to come out and play from the off, so they want to come out and play, and we defend well or defend as well as we are capable of doing. We can hit them on the break, and if we score again, it's curtains. Like it's just, I wasn't that afraid of Roma when they went through. Like I would have rather Roma than Ajax because Ajax were used to winning. That's why Zagreb are obviously so hard for Spurs to beat, and that's why teams like that get far in this competition, is because if you're used to winning, it's quite easy to carry on. Ajax are very used to winning the Eredivisie, so I would much rather have Roma, but they just looked toothless. They didn't know what to do. They couldn't cope with the pace. They didn't know what to do when they got the ball in the final third. I think it would be really comfortable for Man United.
What score prediction are you going with?
3-0 to Man United.
How are you feeling about it, Bits?
I'm like Greg. Listen, we're there. I've already talked to you about Belfast. You know what I mean? We're there. You've seen us winning it. You know, I just think we've got too many individuals that can score a goal whenever. And I was talking about Villarreal getting the one goal. If we go over there and get the one goal, they need to score 5 to take it to extra time. And our defence has been very good in this tournament. So yeah, listen, they'll play for pride, but if the first half is 0-0, listen, do you know what I mean? Listen, let's start booking up the watch along for the final. Do you know what I mean?
Ready for
battle. So I'm with Greg. We're not going to get beat. We'll go there, but we won't get beat.
Nah.
We'll
what
probably
score prediction are you going with?
Honest to God, I think we win 2-1 or something like that, if I'm honest. Because once we score, they're not going to... If they try and go forward, oh my goodness.
They've got to go from ball one, and it just doesn't... We've seen teams do that. That's what we did the first time. They tried to go from ball one, and Our team was just far too alert, far too good.
They're seventh. They're seventh in the league for a reason in their respective league, and guys, I'm just telling you right now, we're in the final. Like literally, that's the result. I'm telling you, we're in the final.
One hand is on that trophy already.
Exactly, and if Arsenal get through, we might as well just put two hands on it. Do you know what I mean? So
I think we beat either of them in the final. Like Villarreal didn't impress me even for an Emery side.
We beat anyone. Greg, what are you talking about? We're winning the Europa League.
I know. That's what I'm just saying. They didn't impress. Oh,
I mean, he sounds like me.
I'm actually
just like me.
I'm very confident going into this game as well. I think I'm the same as Greg. I think it'll be a 3-0 win. I think Bruno's going to score an absolute brace again. I have to say it in every prediction, lads. Just can't help myself. So yeah, I think it's going to be fairly comfortable for us, to be honest. And if we can get a goal, even if it's 0-0 at half time, to be honest, I'd bring on all the young lads in the second half. Give them a good run. I mean, not a lot of young lads can say that they went out and played the Europa League semi-finals, so it'll be good experience for them as well. So we will wrap it up there, lads. I will go around the room, and if you want to just shout out your socials and where everyone can find you. Jen, do you want to go first?
At Gunnar_Jen on Twitter.
Greg?
Yeah, it's at Greg_D_Chambers on Twitter.
So?
My Twitter is at TV_Gooner and my YouTube's Gooner Gossip TV.
Bits?
Yeah, at Bits and Bobs _ on Twitter and Instagram, and Bits and Bobs YouTube channel.
You can find me over on Twitter on It's You18. Stay tuned over the next couple of days. There will be a preview for the Roma game. Cian will be hosting that. So thanks a million to everyone in the comments, and hope you all have a good week.